vegetables can be scary, so if you want to avoid the dreaded kimchi slap, then this is the dish for you. It's Galbi Jjim, or braised short ribs. In your first year of marriage, you need to use beef. It's expensive, it's going to impress them. But if you've been married longer, then just use pork. Save some money. Now me, I've been married 10 years. And today I'm using pork. Join me every week where I try to cook a new Korean dish. Let's learn more about Korean culture and Korean cooking together. Now let's get started. Here are the ingredients. On this side, we have our sauce ingredients. We're gonna put those together. That's gonna make essentially the marinade. Over here we have the vegetables. We're gonna add these in as we go along later. And of course we have our meat in the middle. Let's start with the sauces. We have water, huksultang, that's brown sugar, masal, cooking wine, some spring onions sliced up, crushed garlic, crushed ginger, jinganjang, that's dark soy sauce, chamgaru, that's sesame oil, and pepper, pinch of pepper to throw in. It's so easy. For the vegetables, you can use a lot of things. Most Galbi Jjim that I've seen has some carrot for the orange color. It has mu or radish in it, some onion, and then a variety of other ingredients. For my one today, I've got some delicious shiitake mushrooms. We have the spicy green pepper and a spicy red pepper, and onion, some more green onion here, and of course the radish and our carrot. Super easy and super delicious. Before we start though, we've got to do something special with the meat. We're going to soak this for at least 30 minutes. Some people soak it even for a day. I'm not going to do that. Then we're going to boil it for another 10 to 15 minutes while skimming off the foam that's on top. Putting it in the water gets rid of the blood that's in the meat. The second part where we boil it actually gets a lot of the blood out of the bone. And now what we're doing is cleaning it. By running it under this water, we're getting rid of these little bits of bone that's left over from when they're cutting it on the, in the factory. So that'll clean it up, get it all nice and ready to cook. Now we're going to cover our meat with our lovely sauce there. Fill that up. Add some more water if you need so that it's covering, because we're going to cook this for a long time and that water is all going to disappear. And while it's cooking, let's get the vegetables started. You have to take these sharp edges off, or your mother-in-law might cut herself. You don't want that. No, that's just a joke. Actually, taking this off, when it boils down, the little edge pieces won't fall into the soup, and I guess that changes the flavor. Look, honestly, I don't really, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I love you, mother-in-law. 장모님 사랑해. Alright, let's check in on the meat, see how that's going, and start adding some of these vegetables we've prepared. Now our meat has been cooking for about 30 to 40 minutes at this stage. So it's time to add in the radish. The radish will cook for another 20 minutes before we add the next vegetable. We put it in early because the radish just takes longer. The last thing you want in this is a crunchy radish. The radish should be very soft. And you can see the meat is beautiful. That's delicious. But it still needs to cook for longer. We want that thing to be falling apart. So now we're adding in the carrots, and those carrots are going to cook for at least another 10 minutes. You don't want to rush this. Remember, we're also reducing that water. At the end of cooking, the water needs to be thick. So I add in the mushrooms. Those are going to cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. Once again, we're keeping an eye on that water level. If the water level does drop too fast, too quickly, then just add a little bit more water. That's fine. Look, you can see it's really reduced now. So we're almost at the end there. So we're putting in the peppers and the onion, the green onion. Keeping an eye on that. But it's looking good. So, oh, look at that. It's time. We throw in the onions last, and that's the end of it, really. We're going to only cook this for another 5 minutes until that sauce is almost all gone. And it should be almost like a very thick, stewy sauce left at the end. And if you've got to that stage, then it's ready to serve. Yum. Now, I read online the way to check this is get a chopstick in this case and poke it through. If it can go through the meat easily, then it's ready. So that looks like it's ready to eat. Thanks for joining me. I had a lot of fun cooking this. It was really easy. It did take a lot of time, but the end result was fantastic. I know I'm not getting that kimchi sarakus. So, no kimchi slap for me. Have a great time.
뭐야?